Hi guys, I'm a forester here. If you follow my channel, you know that I completed a goal of buying 3 Grail knives a few months ago. I did a video back then that I called What's Beyond Grail Knives, and with almost one voice, my subscribers said that I should look to Great Eastern Cutlery next. Well, I listened to you, and I bought this beautiful GEC Model 73 in Appaloosa horse-cut jig bone covers. I'm really glad that I listened to you. Let me get it out and set it on display along with some older pocket knives that I've had. I will say that I listened reluctantly. You see, it took me a while to come to your way of thinking. These knives are the knives that I used to carry. This old timer right here is a work knife that I carried for years and years. And there's the patina on that blade that you hear about. It only took me about 35 years to build that patina. This Schrade right here I haven't had quite as long, but I've had it 20 or 25 years. Both of these knives are made by Schrade. And then here's a Remington Trapper that I've had a good while. It was a Christmas gift from my mother, but I never really carried it. It was just too big for me. All 3 of these knives were made in the USA. I felt like going to a traditional pocket knife again was going backwards. Now, whether it's going backwards or not, I'm glad I bought the Model 73. It's just a beautiful knife. In particular, I love the Appaloosa horse-cut pattern on the covers. Let me give you a good shot of those from different angles. In certain lighting, the contrast between the light ridges and the dark valleys really pop out. I haven't seen this pattern before. It's also just a great size for me. Now, the Remington Trapper was slightly too large and heavy for me to carry regularly, but this Model 73 is a perfect size for my hand. The handle is roughly 3 3/4 inches long, and since it only has a single blade, it's much narrower than the Trapper and lighter also. Let me let you see for yourself the difference. Very manageable in my pocket. I don't really know that it's there. I have large hands, but I can still get a 4-finger grip on the knife. Now, the knife blade is slightly over 3 inches long, and it has a cutting edge of 2 3/4 inches long. The blade is made of 1095 carbon steel, and in 30 years or so it should have the patina of that old timer. Now, for the price of the knife, I would prefer a more modern steel. I'll try to give you a close-up shot of the blade. Right there. It says Northfield Unexcelled. And there at the base of the blade, it says Northfield Unexcelled, made in USA. Now, I do want to show you a flaw on the opposite side. And you can see those scratches at the very tip. Those did come from the factory. And then at the base, it says GEC TIW 735115. Now, the 73 stands for the model number of the knife. The 5 means that it's a drop point Skinner design. It has 1 blade, and then the last 2 digits stand for it was made in 2015. If you buy a GEC knife, you're going to pay a premium primarily for quality of construction. This Model 73 is without a doubt the best made pocket knife that I own. The seams between the jig bone handle scales and the bolsters are flawless all the way around. There's no gaps at all where they meet. The pins that hold the scales on are all set uniformly, both sides. And the feature that I really noticed first off when I took it out of the box was how these layers fit together on the spine of the blade. From cover to cover, there's no ridges at all, and I can't tell any difference in those various layers as I run my finger over it. There's no sharp corners anywhere on the knife, and the only flaws that I can see are those scratches on the blade that I already mentioned. And at one point, right here, the cover narrows ever so slightly, but it's so minor that the camera's probably not going to be able to pick it up. You might be able to see it, but I sort of doubt it. And it doesn't really bother me. There's a lot to like about this knife, but the question is, will I carry it regularly? Well, there's two features on this knife that I really do not like. So much in fact that they might keep me from carrying it regularly. The thing that I dislike the most is the tension on the lock bar that has to be overcome in opening it up. I'd rate it an 8 on a 1 to 10 scale. Even after lubrication, it's still a nail ripper. It's so difficult to open that I only open it if I must. I really don't see a reason for a knife to be that difficult to open. My second dislike is with this liner lock feature. Now personally, I think this is GEC's effort to make this traditional knife seem modern, but it's like tits on a boar hog. There's absolutely no reason for it. In fact, I think that liner lock makes the knife less safe. When I'm closing the blade, I'm very careful to move my fingers out of the way as soon as that blade moves slightly past the liner lock. The half stop is all that's needed for the safety of the knife. The only reason I bought this 73 with the liner lock is because the version without it was sold out. So there you have it. That's my 2 cents on the GEC Model 73. I'm really glad that I bought it, but only time will tell whether I actually carry it. Y'all take care.